Hi, hello, welcome to my video. This is my first tutorial. That was so awkward, but anyways. As you can tell, I'm in my pajamas, very cute. But yeah, I realized I didn't film an intro and outro as usual. So this is an intro to this video. This is my first tutorial, so please bear with me with like the angles and whatnot. I'm still trying to get used to it. But yeah, I hope that the steps I've shown are clear enough for you to follow. And if you have any questions, please leave it down below in the comment section and I'll try my best to help you with whatever questions you have. And yeah, let's jump into the tutorial. So we are starting with a light blue color and we are just going to chain 48. This bag, you can literally make it any size you want. If you don't have DK yarn, you can use whatever size. Obviously the final product will be different size than mine, but you'll still get a bag at the end of it, you know what I mean? So I'm just going to do a slip knot and we're actually going to chain 49, so 48 plus 1, because we are going to be using single crochet stitches for this project. So I'm just going to chain 48 and I guess I'll see you when I'm done with chaining 48. Sorry, this is my first tutorial, so I'm not very professional. As you can see, I'm having a hard time crocheting in front of a camera. Okay, we got it. So we're just going to chain 48. So I now have 48 chains. I'm just going to add an extra one, so that makes a total of 49. And that's because we are doing single crochet, so we want to skip that first chain here and then we'll make a single crochet on the second chain from the hook. So we're skipping the 49th and that makes 48 again, if that makes sense. The first row, and I'm just gonna go into that stitch with a single crochet and I want to chain 1 and then turn my work. So for every row you're going to chain 1 and turn at the end of the row. And now for rows 2 to 4 we are going to do the same thing as the first row and just single crochet with a light blue color, and then we'll start on the 5th row after that. So for row 5, you want to continue with the light blue color for 15 stitches. So for this project, you really have to pay attention to what you're doing. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 'This is stitch 14 and 15. So there are many ways for you to change your colors, but the way I like to do it is on the 15th stitch, I'll get my hook and I'll insert it into this two right here. I'll pull this to make it longer, just so it doesn't get lost, but here, and then I'll take my white, because that's the color that we'll be changing to. Now that you have your white on your hook, you just want to pull through the white like so. So that's how I like to change my color, and then now you can just pull the blue away like that, and now you are on your white. And before I continue my white stitches, I like to double knot the blue and the white together, and I'll cut off the blue So this is what I like to do. It is definitely a lot more work than other methods, but I feel like this gives the best results for both sides, and that way you don't have to put a lining. So once you have it tied up, you can just cut off the tails. I like to use a cuticle nipper because it gives me like the closest cut, if that makes sense. And you want to cut the light blue one as well. So now we're just left with our white stitch that's still attached to the ball of yarn. So now we're just going to continue with our white stitches. We're going to do 6 stitches of white. That's 3 stitches. And this is the back side. See how it looks so nice and neat? Ta-da! So now we're going to go back with light blue, and now that I've showed you the method of how I color change, I'm just going to finish up this row and I'll meet you guys in the next row. I'll meet you at the end of the row actually. So yeah. And you should have 15 stitches left because that's how many light blue stitches we're going to do. If you have an extra stitch or you're missing a stitch, that means you did not crochet 48 stitches. So for this row we're going to do 14 light blue stitches. So that's the 14th stitch. We are now going to do 20 white stitches. So we are going to do our color change. And we're just going to finish off the row with light blue, 14 stitches of light blue. And for row 7, it's going to be the same as row 6. So what you just did for the previous row, you're going to repeat it for this row. And I'll meet you guys in the next row. So I'm done with row 7, and you can slowly start to see the cloud forming. And now I'm going to start on the next row. I'm just going to chain 1 and turn my work. And for the 8th row, we are going to do 15 light blues, and then we're going to switch to 18 whites and then back to 15 light blues. So we're going to do 15 light blues. And then we're just going to go in with our white and crochet 18 stitches. And then we're going to do color change to dark blue. Now we're going to do 4 dark blue stitches. So we are just gonna, so this is my light blue yarn. I will be carrying it on, so I will hold it close to the stitches as possible. And here's our dark blue. I'm going to do 4 dark blue stitches. And then we're going to go back to light blue for 6 stitches. So we're going to do 6 light blue stitches. Now we're going to do 16 white stitches. So I just did 6 light blue stitches off camera, mostly because I've gone to press record. But now we're going to go in with a dark blue for 4 stitches, and because it's only for 4 stitches, I will be carrying on the light blue with me. Sorry if my pointer finger keeps covering it, but because I'm so used to like the knife hold, this is where I wish I was a pencil hold type of girl, but I'm a knife hold girly. Let me know down below if you're a pencil hold or knife hold. And you should have 6 stitches remaining, and that's for the light blue. And we're just gonna finish off the row now with light blue. Chain 1 and turn my work. So for this row we're going to do 4 light blue stitches. Oops, I'm sorry, didn't mean to get out of frame. So I've just started row 12. I didn't film it because I had to charge my camera, but I feel like you guys can get the idea of the whole project. You just have to stitch a specific number of stitches for each color, and by now you should get the hang of color changing. So I'm just going to do row 12 to 15 off camera, and then once we start on the face, which is row 16, I'll meet you guys there. So let's work our way from row 12 to 15 and we'll see each other at row 16. So we are now at row 16. I've gone ahead and did this part off camera, and now we are down to the pink. I just thought to show you a different color. I don't know, but even though like the method is the same, so we're just gonna carry on the white because it's only 3 pinks. So we'll go like this. 1, oh, three. So the pink is gonna be the blush of Cinnamoroll, and then now I'm just gonna change to white because I did do carry on. I'm just gonna do this type of change real quick. Ta-da! And then we'll just carry on with our white. Now we're going to do 12 white, now I'm just gonna go back with my pink and continue. So to not make this video too long, I'm gonna leave the rest of the pattern on screen, and then you can just go ahead and continue crocheting according to the pattern, and then I will get back to you when I'm done with the front panel, which is what we're working on right now. This is the front panel. I'm now done with the front panel, and your table should look something like this. These are all the tails that we cut, but now that we're done, we are going to stitch the back panel and the front together. I just realized that I didn't film the part where I tell you how to crochet the back panel, so I'll leave this pattern up here. It's literally just single crochet of a rectangle light blue panel. So yeah, it's pretty simple, but I can't believe that I didn't include it in this video. So sorry about that, but yes. So you want the right side to be facing out, like this is the right side. The side that you won't be shown, that's the right side, and the back. And you can just attach these two using single crochets around. So what I want to do is just place it together, and you're going to stitch this side, the bottom, and then work your way up here, and then you can fasten off and obviously leave the top part unstitched because you need to put your stuff in. I have my front panel, my back panel, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just insert it here through the first stitch of the back panel, and I'm going to grab the loop or the yarn, I guess, the working yarn, and I'm going to pull it through that stitch. And before I go in with single crochets, I'm just gonna chain one. So you want to put your hook in here, that's the first, and then so you just want to align the two and just single crochet your way around the bag. Okay, I've just stitched across this side, and we are now at a corner, and you just want to tuck in the tail inside like so, and then I'm gonna put my hook through the first and then the back, if I can see properly. There we go. And for this stitch you want to increase. So what I mean by that is you're just going to do 2 single crochets into the same stitch, or the same hole, I guess. Oh, there we go, focus. And then we're just going to continue as per normal. So the reason why we did an increase in the corner is so that it doesn't pull weirdly and it keeps like that shape of the bag. And this is what it should look like from the front. It's just like this, and then bam, the corner. So you want to do the same thing with the other side. When you reach the corner, just going to do 2 single crochets in this corner stitch. I know I say corner so many times, like drink water every time I say corner. And then go ahead with your single crochets all the way till here. And once you reach here, you can fasten and then cut off the working yarn, and I'll meet you guys there, I guess. Okay, so now we have a pouch pretty much. So this is the opening, and you can put liner in, but I personally do not feel like sewing, so I'm just gonna leave it as is. And there we go. So now we're just gonna add the ruffles. So we're gonna start on this side and all around. We're gonna grab our white yarn. You can make the ruffle whatever color you want. You can go with dark blue like this instead of white. You can do pink instead of white, but I like the color white against this like aqua pastel blue looking color. So I'm just gonna insert my hook. I'm still using my 3mm hook. I'm just gonna insert my hook on the first single crochet stitch in the corner. I'm just gonna bring in my white yarn, and I'm simply just gonna chain 1 to secure the yarn into that stitch. And with the tails, I like to put it like this, make it fold the bag, and then I'm just gonna chain 1 and I'm gonna tighten. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna work with double crochets. So right here we're in the first stitch, and we are gonna skip these 2 stitches and we're gonna stitch in this stitch, and we are gonna work with double crochets. So yarn over, skip, skip, insert it here, and then we're gonna do our double crochet in there, and we're gonna do another 4 double crochets into the same stitch. So a total of 5 double crochets into the same stitch. Five. After we've done 5 double crochets into that same stitch, we are going to skip 2 stitches. So we're gonna skip this one right next to it, and we're going to skip this, and then we're going to slip stitch into the next. Skip, skip, and then this is the stitch, and we're going to slip stitch, and we're going to really tighten it. And we're going to repeat the exact same thing all around the bag. Slip stitch, skip 2, double crochet 5 into the same stitch, skip 2, slip stitch, and then repeat, repeat, repeat until you reach this end. So now we're just going to do the exact same thing for the corner. So I've done my stitches, and then I'm going to skip 2, 1, 2, and then we are going to insert it on this corner and slip stitch. Ba-bam. And then we're going to do another slip stitch. So we slip stitch twice in that corner stitch, and then we're just going to do our regular 1, 2, skip, and then into this one. Bam. I hope I'm in frame. It's really hard to crochet. And then we're going to skip 2 and slip stitch into that one. There we go. So again, the same reason why we want to double the stitch on the corner is so that the bag doesn't sit weird. So we're just going to do the same thing throughout, and when you reach the other corner, just remember to double the stitch as per usual, because it's going to be the same thing throughout. I'm just going to keep working on it, and I'll see you guys when I'm almost at the end so we can finish it together. So I'm now down with my last shell stitch, and we're now just going to slip stitch into this. And we are done. And we're just gonna want to fasten it, so pull this really tight. And the bag part is done. We now have to make the straps. Actually, before going on with making the straps, we are gonna work on our bag still, and we're gonna make these loops where we're gonna thread our straps through. So we're just gonna make one on each side. And how you're gonna do it is literally just a half double crochet foundation chain. And for this bag, I'm not gonna do the ruffles up top, and I'm just gonna go ahead with making the loops. So if you want to add the ruffles up top, go ahead and then get back to the video when it's time to make the loops and the straps. I'm now gonna teach you how to make the loops, and it's pretty much just a half double crochet foundation chain. If you already know how to make a foundation chain, then just chain 6 of them and make 2 of these. So we're gonna have a loop on each side of our bag like so. For demonstration purposes, I'm gonna show you with a thinner yarn like this, and also a bigger hook, just so you can see what I'm doing. So we're gonna grab our yarn and we're gonna start with a slip knot. So we have a slip knot here, and we're gonna chain 2. So 1 and 2. There's our chains. And then we're gonna do a yarn over, and we're gonna chain into the first chain. And when you rotate your chain like so, do you see this V up here? We're gonna go through that V and then just go through those 2 stitches like that. So now you have 4, what are these called? Hoops? Loops? Yeah, you have 4 loops on your hook. And then you're gonna yarn over, and you're gonna pull through that like that. And then we are gonna yarn over, and we're gonna separate the first loop with the rest, and that's when we're gonna get out, and then yarn over and pull through all 3. And then we're going to continue, and from this point we're just gonna yarn over, and now we've created a V. You see that V? We're just gonna go in like so, and then again yarn over, pull through your chain, yarn over, pull through that first loop, and then yarn over and pull through all 3, and then that's your chain that you just made. So that is how you make a half double crochet foundation chain. I hope I explained it well enough and demonstrated it clearly as possible. And also for the straps, we are going to use the same method of half double crochet foundation chains. So now that we have 2 of these, we're just going to sew in. I'm not an expert at sewing. I literally just sew however until I feel like it's secure. So I have it attached to a needle, darning needle, I think that's what it's called, and I'm just going to go to this stitch like so, like that, and then into that, and then when I have this loop, I'm just gonna loop through, and that will tighten it. And then I'm just gonna go and go through here, and then go through here again, and I'm just sewing it. Nothing fancy, nothing special. I'm just going through the same stitch over and over again until I am happy. Okay, so now that you have your 2 loops sewed onto your bag, we are now going to start with the bag straps. So for this bag, I will be making an adjustable strap. I'll show you how to make the adjustable strap thingy later. So for this strap, we're going to use the same method as the bag loops. We are going to use half double crochet foundation chains, and I did mine 48 inches long. There we go. So I did mine 48 inches long because that is how I like my bag to sit when I use it at the longest length. So just continue making your half double crochet foundation chains. You honestly can do single crochet foundation chains as well if you like, but it's up to you how thick you want your straps. Now I'm going to show you how to make the adjustable strap mechanism. Also, I leave video credits to the original video that I watched. This isn't my pattern for this mechanism, so yeah, I'm just relaying the message through my video, but originally I learned this from this video. Let me just put it up here, and also the link is down in the description box below. I'm not taking credit for this at all, but yeah. So we're gonna start off with a slip knot, and we're gonna chain 5. So after you've chained 5, you want to slip stitch into the very first stitch because you want to form a ring. So we're just going to go into our first stitch, and we are going to slip stitch. And after that, you're going to do 2 chains, 1 and 2. And I know it's very hard to see right now because it's super tiny, but you have now formed a ring. There you go, that's your little ring right here. So now that you have your ring, you're gonna slip stitch into the 3rd chain in the ring. So don't count these 2 chains that we just made. So 1, 2 and 3. So we're gonna slip stitch into that chain. 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into that, and then you want to pull and tighten it like so, and then you just want to fasten off. That's literally it. So now that we have our little mechanism, I'm just gonna call it that, I don't know what this is called. So it's pretty much a circle underneath, and our chain 2 that goes on top of the circle, so you can see that loop. So what you're going to do now is thread your strap through that loop, so under the chain 2. So it is going to be a bit tight because that's what we want. We don't want a loose mechanism because then it's just going to be sliding up and down. So I'm just going to shove my hook and then hook this, and I'm gonna try my best and just try to squeeze that strap through that loop. I might have to do this off camera because again, I'm far-sighted and this is too far for me to see what I'm doing. So I've just pulled my strap through that chain 2 loop, so ta-da! So now that you have it through the loop, you're gonna fold the end of your strap over, and you're just going to secure the end to your strap. And now for the excess tails, you can just sew it up the strap, and you're good to go. And so this is what it looked like now that your strap is secured. So the chain 2 is pretty much in between these two straps right here. The bottom of the mechanism should be right here. See? A little loopy loop. And that should be the ring that you created for the mechanism. We're now gonna grab our bag. So now that we have our bag and our strap, we're gonna grab the other end of your strap that doesn't have the mechanism on, and we're gonna loop through this loop right here. If you need help, just shove your hook in there and like so. Ba-bam. And this part, you want to be careful to not twist your straps, you know, make it all like different sided and whatnot. Just try to keep it as straight as possible because we don't want to twist this strap, and keep pulling through until the mechanism is closer, I guess. So now back to the mechanism. I'm going to show it as best as I can. Zoom you in. So this is the other side of the strap that has the mechanism. Remember how the chain 2 is in between this strap that we just sewed down? On the other side, like I've showed previously, should have a loop like this. So what you want to do is thread the other side of your strap through these 2 loops. So this is what it's going to look like from the side. This is your strap, and then through here. And this part, you want to make sure that your strap isn't twisted or anything, because this is where it's permanently like, okay, I'm not going to scare you, but what I usually do is shove my crochet hook, and it might be a tight fit, but that's what you want. And ta-da, easy, like so. So now the strap should look something like this. You've looped it around, and there we go. And you can just keep pulling and keep pulling until it makes sense to you. This part, again, just double check that your straps aren't twisted. So see how this is a bit twisted here? I'm gonna fix it. Just rotate it like this, no big deal. And there we go. So this is the adjustable part. So your strap should look something like this by now. Okay, now to secure the other end. So we're gonna thread through our strap through this loop. Again, I'm gonna use my crochet hook to just grab it in like so. Ooh, get off. And this part, this is where we make our strap permanent. So make sure, triple check that your strap isn't twisted, because once this is sewed down, that's it. Just kidding, you can always like undo it and resew it, but who has time for that? Okay, so making sure that your strap is straight, no twisties. And then we're just gonna sew down our strap. So again, just fold it like that. And then we are going to sew the end to the strap like that. Pretty much what we did with the other one. And I'm going to do it off camera because I need to focus. And again, with the ends of the sew-ins, you're just going to thread it through the strap. So our strap is now secured. Bam, bam. So now we are just going to sew in any loose ends that are still out in the open. Like this. We have sewed in our bags, it's pretty much good to go. But if you like to add any closures here, like a snap fasten or zipper, you can do whatever you want. If you don't have any fasteners, or you don't want to buy any buttons, or you don't want to deal with zippers, then you can use crochet as well to make your own little fastener. But you can create a loop here and then like a little ball thingy, and then you can loop through, you know, the sub fasteners. It's up to you, but I personally prefer to use a snap fastener because I have not mastered the skills of adding zipper to stuff. But you can definitely do that if you're more like expert in the crochet game. So this is the final look. Ta-da! Sorry about the backlighting. but this is how the strap looks like. And if you want to adjust it to make it long or shorter, sorry, you just move this like so, bam. So now you have, and then you pull it like this, and now you have a shorter strap. And now if you want to make it longer, just, I'm pretty sure you know how to work a bag, okay? I don't know why I'm talking to you guys like you've never seen a bag fastener before. Also, oh, look at my collection. Look at this cute little tiger. I got it from a blind box. Isn't it so cute? Anyways, but also, if you do not want to deal with the whole adjustable mechanism, you can make this bag a fixed strap. So if you've decided like, you know what, I don't want to deal with the fasteners, or what I calling fastener, I don't want to deal with the adjustable thing, I just want a fixed length, then you can definitely do that as well. Just do this on both sides. This is the final product. Now I'm gonna let the outro play, and finally this video is done. Took me weeks. I think you can tell by the amount of like different nails I had on in this video. It took me weeks, maybe a month to film this tutorial, but yes. Hello, it's me filming an outro after an intro as usual. But yes, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it easy to follow. That's all I hope for this video. And thank you for asking for a tutorial. Is that the right way to say it? But yeah, thank you for asking for a tutorial so that I have this video to put out. If you completed this tutorial, I'd like to see a finished bag, and please like tag me on Instagram or something, or send it through my DMs or whatever. I want to see if my tutorial is helpful and if it's clear enough for people to follow. And yeah, let me know what else you want to see from me. If you want to see the other Cinnamoroll bags, then I'm more than happy to make a tutorial on it. So yeah, bye.
Every night I try to love, but your heart is made of stone.